Hi, my name's Kate. I'm the art director at Camp Talooli, and today I want to show you guys how to make God's eyes. Today we're going to make our God's eyes out of sticks and some t-shirt yarn, and I'm going to show you how to do all of that. God's eyes are one of my favorite projects from when I was a camper, and I'm very excited to show you that. To help commemorate it, I'm wearing one of my old favorite sweaters from camp as a camper. So a God's eye looks like this, and it's a lot of fun. It's very easy to do, and I'm going to give you all the tips to do it. So to make our God's eyes today, I have two sticks that are about the same length, about the same width, and then I also have our t-shirt yarn, which I'll show you how to make. These can be made out of anything that you have around the house. Traditionally, we make them out of popsicle sticks and some yarn or some string. I made this one out of pipe cleaners I had and some embroidery floss. But you can make it out of anything you have. If you have pencils, anything straight will help you make that cross piece in there, and then anything string-like will help you make the actual shape. But like I said, I'm going to show you guys how to do it out of sticks and t-shirt yarn. I'm excited to do it this way. I haven't done it this way before, but I think it'll make a nice big one that'll look really cool, and I can hang outside when it comes summertime. Alright, so to make our yarn, we want to use an old t-shirt. I have this one that was laying around that I was going to donate. We want to make sure that it's t-shirt fabric because t-shirt fabric has a really nice elasticity to it, whereas other fabrics don't. So make sure that your parents are okay with you cutting up a t-shirt and go ahead and use that one. I would use one that maybe you don't fit anymore or don't wear anymore. If you have some cool colors, I have some blue, some red, some orange. If I had a tie-dye one, that would look very cool, but I couldn't bring myself to cut up any of my tie-dye t-shirts, so I'm going to use this green one today. So for our t-shirt, we're going to lay it flat, and then we're going to fold it in half, just like this, long ways, kind of hot dog style, and then I'm going to fold it one more time. Now this time when I fold it, I don't want to fold it all the way up to the edge. I want to leave a little bit of a gap there. This is going to be important for when we're actually cutting up that t-shirt, to leave a piece that we don't cut. So I'm gonna fold it like a hot dog, and then I'm gonna grab a nice pair of scissors, and all I'm gonna do on the folded edge here, I'm gonna start cutting about quarter inch, half inch lines that are parallel to each other. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way up. Something I don't want included is that white text or the plasticky text, because when we go to stretch our t-shirt, if that's there, it doesn't stretch as nicely, so you want to avoid those pieces. All right, so cutting it this way is going to make it a nice long piece of string that I can use. I can use it for multiple things, not just this. I was using t-shirt string earlier this week to make masks for people who need them, so I just cut off that seam there, and now I'm going to start making my parallel lines. Cut right up to the end of my fold and leave it. Do not want to cut all the way through, or we'll have a bunch of little pieces that are not all connected into one long string. Okay, so I'm going to keep cutting here. All right, and when you're at the last one, I'm going to stop around here, but if you wanted to, you could keep going all the way up till that armhole. But I'm going to do my last one here, and I'm just going to cut all the way across. All right, so I can put my scraps somewhere else. And now I have my t-shirt that looks like this. So I have my piece that's still attached, and then I have all my little stringies here. And now we have our piece that's folded up top. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to open it up, kind of sticking my hand through the middle there. I want to be able to see the part that's still connected. Okay. Now this is the most tricky part. What we're going to do is we're going to cut our pieces apart. So what I'm going to do, I'm trying to hold it up so we can see, instead of cutting from this line all the way straight across, I'm going to cut at a consistent diagonal. So I'm going to take this first slit and go down to the second one. Then this one goes down here. That one goes down there. The hardest part is getting that first one right. I'm going to take my second line, go down, or my first line, go down to the second one. Again, first line, go down to the second one. So now it's pretty easy not to mess it up. But this is our connection between the two sides. We just want to make sure that we're not skipping over any, because then we're going to cut a big chunk in our string and it won't be a consistent piece. You don't have to cut it over your hand. I like doing that because it keeps any of my pieces that I don't want to cut away. Alright, so once you have your string all set up, all you're going to do is you can either use a partner or you can just use two hands, and we're going to stretch it. We're going to hold nice and tight and pull through our hands. I like to use a partner, have them hold that side, and then I pull this way. So just run that through your hands a couple of times. You can see it goes from the square piece to this nice rounded kind of cord-like piece. Right? So you're just going to stretch it through, and then I like to ball it up into a ball so it kind of looks like a ball of yarn, and then we are ready to start our God's eyes. Right, to start on our God's eyes, we are going to take our two sticks and we're going to try to find the middle and just make a X or a cross, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to hold that with my fingers here. This is the hardest part, is getting it started. Once we get it started, it's going to be really, really easy. So I have my cross here, and I'm going to take my first piece of string. I have a little piece here. And my first step is to tie it on to the very middle of that. If you want to put your cross down for a second to do that, that's not a big deal. I'm just going to tie it onto my string so it doesn't get pulled off for some reason. Okay, snip my end. Okay. So I'll make my cross again. I'm gonna hold it with two hands, and now we're gonna start our pattern. This pattern goes all the way around the God's eye until you're done. So all you do is you go under the next stick and around. And then again, I'm gonna go under my next stick and around the outside. Under the next one, around. So you just kind of gotta keep rotating. It's a little tricky at first. Again, you wanna hold that nice and tight in the middle, under and around, under and around, under and around. So when I'm doing this, the thing that I see people doing most, which is what you don't want to do, is they tend to start building up the string over top of strings they already put over and over and over again, so that it comes up to like this tall. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want our strings to start building out on the stick. So I want to put my next string right next to the first one, not on top of it. Okay? And once we get further, you're going to see that by doing that, by adding them next to it and not on top, it's going to start building this little piece here that's kind of fabricy. Okay. So again, I wrap around the stick and then to the next one. Around to the next one, around to the next one, around to the next one. So once you feel like you're running low on string, all you need to do is grab some more and tie it on. So I'm going to do some stripy patterns. So I think the next one I want to use is some blue here. That's probably a good amount. So when I tie it, I'm going to tie it just like a shoelace. So I'm going to crisscross it. And then one more time. Not in a bow, in a knot. Okay. Pull it nice and tight. And again, I probably want to trim those ends down there. Okay, now I'm ready to go again. So I know which direction I'm going, because if I go the wrong way, then I start going backwards, and that doesn't look right. So down, around, over to my next one. Again, I'm building up the stick, not on top of my old strings. Down and around. And once we get a little more, you'll see that fabric-y piece start to show. I really like this look of the t-shirt right now. I think it looks very, very cool. So I find God's Eyes to be very meditative. It's very much like doing a coloring book. It's a really easy pattern. You can do it while you watch TV or hang out outside. I love the pattern that it makes on both sides of the stick here. I think that diamond pattern is really pretty, and I also love when you can see the sticks that we're wrapping around. So once we run out of thread, if you're happy with it, if I keep going, I probably would try to go out to the ends as far as I could to use up those sticks. But if I wanted to stop here, all I'm going to do is take it, wrap it around the stick, twist it under my loop that I just made, and tie it into a knot. So here it is, my finished God's Eye. I'm really excited about it. I think it's very cool. If I were to do it again, I might even go bigger, make a bigger one, see how it looks. It would be a great thing to hang on a wall. I hope you guys enjoyed making the God's Eyes. Please, if you have a favorite craft project from when you were a camper, please share it with us. I would love to hear what you guys like. Maybe we can make a tutorial on it. Thank you for joining Talooli Trails, and thanks for having me.